What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Oddtoxin Gaming. Today we are going to be going over Yu-Gi-Oh! Retro Chronicles. This is a new series coming to the channel where I go over past formats, Time Wizard formats, and I'm going to be going in chronological order of decks. So we're starting with the first ever Yu-Gi-Oh! Format, the Yugi-Kaiba format. This format is the ban list right afterwards. If we go here to the TCG zone, you can go to May 2002 TCG, and this will bring up the ban list cards. So we'll see that like Pot of Greed, Regeki, Monster Reborn, Change of Heart, Dark Hole, Swords of Revealing Light, and Card Destruction are all on different levels of the ban list. So this is the first ever like limited list. There was no ban cards in this format at this point in time. But without further ado, we're going to just jump right into this. This is going to be Soul Control. This is based around pretty much summoning your Monarch monsters like Summon Skull or Judge Man using the card Soul Exchange or Change of Heart to steal your opponent's monsters to summon your own big boss monsters. In this format, you're going to be playing 3 of the Summon Skull. I'm on 1 of the Judge Man. Like I said, these are going to be your bread and butter of the deck. They're your Monarch, so you're going to be tributing over monsters to summon out these big heavy beaters. So Summon Skull is the best 1-drop in the game, being a 2500 beater, and then Judge Man is the second best, being a 2200 beater. In most of these decks, you're going to be seeing Lajin because he's your best 0-drop in the game, being an 1800 attack point monster. And then we're going to be playing triple of the Battle Ox and then triple of Neo the Magic Swordsman because they're the second best, being 1700 attack points. We're also on 2 Giant Soldier of Stone because that powerful 2000 defense can wall up your opponent and actually give you a little bit of an edge and a couple extra turns in specific scenarios, being that Lajin is the best 0-drop attacker in the game of 1800 attack points. This 2000 defense can actually get you pretty far. Man-Eater Bug is one of your best monster spot removals, being the flip effect to destroy 1 monster on the field. The only downside of Man-Eater Bug in this deck is that when it gets flipped up, you have to destroy 1 monster on the field, so there's weird scenarios that happen where you have to pop your own monsters. So that does come up. We're also on 1 Trap Monster or Trap Master, and then 2 Wall of Illusion. This is to give like a little bit of a smoke screen into your opponent's thinking it's a Man-Eater Bug. It's the same thing for the Giant Soldier of Stone as well. Trap Master is really good because it flips up and destroys a trap card on the field, so you can get rid of cards like Trap Hole or even the Ultimate Offering, so that's nice in itself. And then Wall of Illusion is just an 1850 wall that will bounce a card to hand whenever it attacks, whenever it is attacked. So that's really nice in the regards because, like I said before, Lajin being an 1800 0-drop will attack right into this and get bounced right to hand. Your best removal spells in the game is Fissure, because you're able to just drag down any monster your opponent controls that has the lowest attack, so that's really good in that regard. Again, we're looking at the Soul Exchange and the Change of Heart. These 3 cards in particular will steal the opponent's monsters, allowing you to tribute over them for your boss monsters. Or in some scenarios, you can change apart an opponent's monster and attack for game. Pot of Greed is obviously in here with Regeki, Monster Reborn, and Dark Hole because they're part of the Power 5. Swords of Revealing Light is essentially a draw 3 in this format. There's very few spells and trap removal. I think Dispel's the only one that comes to mind for a card that can get around this Swords of Revealing Light. So you activate it and you essentially get 3 additional turns that allow you to draw into cards you need. Reinforcements is the best battle trap in this format, being that it gives your monsters 500 attack points. It's the only real battle trap in this format as well, so it's good in that regard. Again, 3 Trap Hole. This is a good removal card for whenever your opponent plays Lajins or tribute summons into their own Summon Skulls and Judge Mans. And then 1 Ultimate Offerings. This can allow you to go for quick OTKs with if you draw a handful of monster cards and your opponent doesn't draw really anything at all. The side deck is going to be double Judge Man. There's weird scenarios where you're going to want to go into the Judge Man and another Soul Exchange. That way you contribute over your opponent's monsters faster and then steal out very strong cards. I found like against like the Dragon Caller deck, you're able to like tribute over the Lord of D, and then because of that you're able to target your opponent monsters with other card effects like with your Man-Eater Bugs that are already set on the field. So I find that like, a scenario like that is where I'll side those in. Again, if you're playing very trap heavy decks, even though it's not really known in this format all that well, Trap Master is going to be in here at 2 as well. Hane Hane is a card that I have in my side deck. I think it's really good. Again, if you're in a scenario where you're against a dragon deck, you kind of want to make sure that those cards are getting bounced to hand. Same with Wall of Illusion. Then Card Destruction's in here for the weird Exodia decks or the Stall Mill decks. That way you can Stall Mill your opponent as well. Same with Just Desserts. They're in here to outburn the opponent in case you're playing against the burn deck. And then with Boku, that way you can stall out a couple of games as well. But without further ado, we're going to jump right into the deck showcase, and I hope you all enjoy that. So to start off in this, it's going to be me against my buddy, Violent Mime. This is a friend of mine in IRL. His name is Nick, so big shout out to him for having fun and playing this game with me. He's going to be on the Dragon Caller list because I actually genuinely enjoy that list, and I think it has a lot to do with like how this format does in general. We draw the fissure for turn, but we're going ahead and we're going to set the Wall of Illusion face down so we don't really have any aggro cards to start off with. And then we're going to set one Trap Hole face down as well. That way we can get rid of any monster that gets normal summoned. They're going to draw into the Pot of Greed, which is like insane to start off. Then, again, just getting those additional cards, drawing into Regeki and Lajin, very powerful cards to start off. Going ahead and setting their own Trap Hole face down, and then summoning the Battle Locks as well, and then just passing the turn because they're afraid of the Man-Eater bug. Drawing for turn, we draw into the Regeki. We're going to go ahead and just get rid of the monster with the Fissure, and not wanting to pretty much get blown out by a Regeki or a Dark Hole, we're not going to set our Man-Eater bug. So we're going to pass turn off to the opponent, who just draws into their Waboku and sets it face down. Uses the Chain of Heart, that way they can try to bait out the Man-Eater bug to blow it up, but it's nothing, it's just the Wall of Illusion. Then summoning their own Lajin, which we're going to Trap Hole here because it is the 1800 beater. Again, it's weird that I would go for the Trap Hole here because if they had the Lord of D and the Dragon Callers here, I just kind of lose. But I kind of took the gamble and just destroyed the monster right away. They're going to go ahead and enter into the battle phase there, and they're going to hit me for the 1k off my own monster, passing the turn back off to me, and then my monster will come back to me. I'll go ahead and I'll draw for turn. Again, drawing into a Giant Soldier of Stone. Still no aggro cards, but we're kind of living. Go ahead, we're going to put the Wall of Illusion to defense mode, and then set our Man-Eater bug face down, and then we're going to go ahead and pass the turn off back to the opponent, who's going to draw into the Curse of Dragon. They're going to go to main 1 and end phase, so we're also going to draw back into our turn, drawing into a Lajin. Going into the main phase, we're going to actually switch the Wall of Illusion to attack mode, and that way we can just start poking for some damage against the opponent. Going a little bit aggressive, even though we got to the Lajin, there were 2 face down cards here, so I didn't want to just summon it out into a Trap Hole. They're going to draw into turn, getting into another Swords of Revealing Light, making it very safe for them to use one of the Swords of Revealing Lights. This is going to flip my Man-Eater bug and force his activation, so I'm going to pop himself in doing so. Drawing for turn, I'm going to draw into my own Dark Hole, so I have a lot of removal out, switching the Wall of Illusion to defense mode, and then passing turn back to the opponent because I cannot attack under the Swords of Revealing Light. And it's also because of that Swords of Revealing Light being the reason why I didn't summon the Lajin. They're going to draw into the Lord of D, so they're starting to get all these pieces together here. They're going to set that monster face down because they are safe under the Swords of Revealing Light, and then pass turn back off to me. I'm going to draw into the Summoned Skull here. Going into my main phase 1, I'm going to summon the Lajin now, which is, like I thought so, going to be met with the Trap Hole, and then, so the reason why I did that is I wanted to bait the Trap Hole with the Lajin, so whenever it was time to summon out the Summoned Skull, I would have been safe to do so. The opponent's going to draw again into Neo the Magical Swordsman. It's going to go and summon the Neo, and then they're going to pass the turn. We're going to again draw into another Lajin. Go ahead and summon the Lajin to try to bait out the other Trap Hole, but there isn't another one, so it doesn't get activated here. On my end phase, the swords will now drop, and then they will draw for turn into the Blue Eyes White Dragon. Going into main phase 1, they're going to use the Regeki to clear out my whole board, and then continue on with their turn, tributing one of the monsters off, being the Lord of D, for the Curse of Dragon for a 2,000 attack point monster. In the battle phase here, they'll hit me for the 2,000 and 1,700, drop me 3,700 damage because I have no response to it. And then I will go ahead and draw for turn, drawing into the Man-Eater bug. Going to my main phase 1 here, we will change of heart the Curse of Dragon here. And what we're going to do is we're going to try to bait out the reinforcements. So we're going to attack 2,000 into the Neo the Magical Swordsman, and it connects. It takes 300 there, so we're fine where we're at. Go ahead and go to main phase 2, tribute off the Curse of Dragon, that way we can get out the Summoned Skull. In hindsight, I don't really know if I should have went for this route or if I should have just went for the Soul Exchange here, but because it's going to easily be met with the Fissure that's in the hand here. So this is going to go ahead and destroy my Summoned Skull, sending it straight to the graveyard, and then they're going to pass back to me. Drawing into a reinforcements here, I'm in a little bit of a decent situation, so I just continue to play it safe, go ahead and set my face down card, and set my reinforcements, and then pass the turn back to the opponent. The opponent draws into a Trap Hole, goes ahead and they set the Trap Hole, and then pass turn back to me. We're going to drawing into a Wall of Illusion here. Going to main phase 1, we're just going to go aggro, flip the Giant Soldier of Stone. It's not met with anything, so we're going to just attack directly for the 1,300, try to poke him for as much damage as possibly can. If they do get out a Lajin here, I'm fine because I'm able to use my reinforcements and trade with the Lajin if it does come down to that. I'll then go ahead and set one monster face down, and then I'll pass it back to the opponent, who draws into a Neo the Magical Swordsman. They're going to go ahead and summon that Neo, that way they can try to contest with my Giant Soldier of Stone. I go ahead and I use reinforcements here, putting my monster up to 1,800 attack points, to which they are going to respond with the Waboku, protecting their monster from the battle, and their life points as well. I'll draw for turn again, drawing into another Lajin. I'm going to go ahead and switch my Giant Soldier to defense mode, and then set another monster face down. My opponent will then draw for turn, drawing into another Fissure, and then go ahead and they are going to Swords of Revealing Light to try to get my Man-Eater Bug to pop again. So I just set the Man-Eater Bug, so it was very unfortunate, but I am able to get around the Neo because of that, and then my Wall of Illusion will also flip face up. We're going to go ahead and pass back to me, getting into the Monster Reborn here. I'm just going to pass here. There's nothing I can really do at this point, and they are going to draw into the Dark Hole. They're going to go for their main phase 1 and then skip again. They have plenty of turns. Like I said, this card essentially gives them 3 additional draw phases. So it was like really crazy in that regard. We're going to draw into the Neo the Magic Swordsman here, go into the main phase 1 and again pass. There's no point wasting any more resources, especially if you can't go aggro. This is going to put the second turn onto the swords, and they're going to draw into a Battle Ox. Going into the main phase 1 here, they're just going to pass again because again there's no point in wasting their resources to be met with a Regeki or a Dark Hole if need be. And then I'm going to draw into my own Battle Ox. Going to main phase 1, I'm just going to go ahead and set 1 card face down, pass to my opponent, who is going to draw into their Lord of D. The Swords of Revealing Light did dissipate at the end of my last turn. They're going to just Dark Hole, clear out my entire field, go ahead and summon the Lord of D, use the flute to call out the Blue Eyes, and that is going to be their game. So they're going to go ahead, summon out the Blue Eyes, and then they are going to just attack me directly. Again, I didn't have the Trap Hole here, and at the point we are in this game, I don't even know if it was even worth it. I didn't go as aggressive with my spell cards as I wanted to, or as I should have, and so this is just going to clear me out for 3,000, and then the 1,200 will attack me directly. Going into the siding process, I wish it would show you what you side and what you don't in these replays, but I digress. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to draw for turn, drawing into the Judge Man, which is really nice, getting the Lajin because we chose to go first. And then in the main phase 1, we're just going to go aggro immediately. We're just going to summon that Lajin attack mode, set 1 Waboku face down because we can protect them. I did end up siding in the Wabokus, as you saw they weren't in main deck. I needed to keep myself protected in case the Blue Eyes did get brought out. Going straight into the main phase, they're going to set 1 card face down and then set the Man-Eater Bug face down as well, and then pass the turn off to us, not wanting to use the Fissure for a complete resource. Going into the main phase 1, we're just going to go ahead and use the Battle Ox here, see if it's going to get met with the Dark Hole. It does not get met with the Dark Hole here, or Trap Hole here, and then we're going to go into battle phase and try to attack into the monster. Attacking with the Lajin first in case it is a Man-Eater Bug, that way they would have to save their life points, destroy the weaker monster, which they do end up doing because they have the Fissure in hand, so it didn't really matter in the end, and we're going to just pass turn off to the opponent. And like I said, I'm probably going to get met with this Fissure right here, destroying the Lajin, and then they're going to summon 1 of the 2 Battle Oxes in their hand. That way they can hit me for a nice 1,700 attack point damage. Again, I'm going to just take this. There's no point wasting Waboku so early on. They're going to set the Waboku in their hand face down, and then they're going to pass the turn back off to me. I'm going to draw for turn, drawing into my own Summoned Skull. Thinking my turns through here, I think I'm just going to put the Wall of Illusion face down, passing the turn back to the opponent, who is going to draw into their Change of Heart. They're going to go to main phase 1, summon the Battle Ox, and then they're going to battle phase straight into my Wall of Illusion. Wall of Illusion will now bounce the Battle Ox back to hand, which is very good for us, but they are going to use the reinforcements, that way they can clear the Battle Ox itself, putting it to 2,200 attack points. This is going to still bounce the monster, but I do lose my monster in the end here, and then I'm going to again take a swift 1,700 attack point damage to the face, not wanting to waste a Waboku in case I need it later on. I go ahead and I draw for turn, drawing into a Trap Hole, going to main phase 1, setting it face down, and then setting the Man-Eater Bug as well to pass the turn back to the opponent. Opponent draws for turn to another Lajin. They go to their main phase 1, use the Change of Heart to steal the Man-Eater Bug here, and then what they're going to do is they're just going to go for the hard tribute out for the Blue Eyes White Dragon. I'm going to Trap Hole the Blue Eyes where it sits, that way there's no way that I take this 3,000 to the face this turn. That was a lucky draw for me in all honesty, and then they're going to pass back to me. I get the Swords of Revealing Light, which is really nice for me here, because I'm able to just activate these swords, and it gives me 3 turns to find resources that I need, because I'm in a really bad situation as we stand right now. They go for the draw, again it's going to be a Trap Hole, they're going to set it face down, contest me with the Battle Ox, and then they're going to pass to me, putting swords at 1 for the turn. I draw into a Change of Heart here, going into main phase 1, I just pass again, I'm just waiting for my resources to gather up. They're going to draw into the Curse of Dragon, summon the Lajin, and then pass turn back to me. We're going to put the 2 counter on the swords. Drawing into another swords here is really good for me, so I just go ahead and I pass back to the opponent, who then draws into their own Swords of Revealing Light. They just go for battle, main phase, and then end phase. Swords of Revealing Light is contested, and then we will now draw for turn into another Wall of Illusion. What we end up doing is just using the swords once again, that way we can get another 3 turns for ourselves, because we have not gotten really anything we really need at this current point, and they're going to go straight into the main phase 1, setting down the Battle Ox face down. We're going to now draw for turn, drawing into a Monster Reborn, which is going to be very nice for us because we're able to steal that Blue Eyes White Dragon that we destroyed earlier, and then we are just going to pass it to the opponent, who's going to draw into their own fissure. Going to main phase 1, they will now pass again. Sword of Revealing Light goes to 2. We draw for turn, drawing into the Greedy Jar. I don't really need it at this very second, so I just set one card face down, and then I pass the turn to their draw of the Reinforcements. Setting the Reinforcements face down, activating their own Swords of Revealing Light. That way they can try to force my Wall of Illusion. But we were having somewhat of a difficulty. I'm not able to flip my monster face up for some reason. And so we just go into the next turn after we get this all figured out. I go ahead and I draw for turn here because we're still under swords. Swords will go ahead and go to the graveyard because it's now contested. And then I will draw into my Lajin. I will then use the Regeki to destroy all 3 monsters on the field. And then I will use Pottery to draw 2 cards. Again, I'm not sure why I'm not able to flip up my monster, but I just summoned the Lajin, and then I pass the turn back to the opponent. My opponent does know that what's face down is the Wall of Illusion. So we use the Fissure here, and it destroys the Lajin. It should have honestly destroyed the Wall of Illusion, but I guess because it wasn't face up, we were just confused about the moment. Passing the turn back to the opponent, who draws into the Regeki, and then we draw back into me for the Summoned Skull. Set 1 card face down, opponent draws for turn again, drawing into the Maneater Bug, and then the Sword of Revealing Light is also dissipated from the last turn. Maneater Bug gets put face down, and we draw for turn. Now we're at a point where we can use the Change of Heart to steal the Maneater Bug, and then what we're going to do here is we're actually going to tribute the Maneater Bug to go for the second Summoned Skull that we ended up drawing to try to contest one of the trap holes, which we believe are face down. It is, so they're going to activate it, sending it straight to the graveyard. We're going to Monster Reborn, the Blue Eyes, and now we're going to finally flip the Wall of Illusion face up, going for the 1,000 and the 3,000 direct points of damage. The opponent now draws for turn, drawing into their own Blue Eyes White Dragon. As you can see, they have Regeki in the hand, so they're probably going to meet us with that. Of course they do, so both of our monsters now go to the graveyard, and they pass the turn back off to us. We draw for turn, drawing into the Maneater Bug, going into the main phase 1, and then we're going to summon the Neo, the Magical Swordsman. This is going to be met with a Woboku, so they don't take the damage because they are at half life points, and the turn is now passed back to the opponent. The opponent draws into the Fluted Summoning Dragon, but there's nothing they can really do at this point, so they just try to get rid of our monster, which works. And then they pass back to us. We get the Soul Exchange here, which is fine. So go ahead and set the Maneater Bug, and then we pass turn back to the opponent, who draws into the Trap Hole. They set the Trap Hole face down, pass turn back to me. I draw into the Lajin, immediately summon the Lajin, and it's met with the Trap Hole, and I'm just like, of course you top deck it. And then I pass back to the opponent. Drawing into the Dark Hole, they're not going to use it right away. That would be a greedy thing for them to do. We're going to draw for our turn, drawing into the Battle Ox. We're going to tribute for the Judgment in case it's met by the other Trap Hole, and then go for the Battle Phase for a 2200 direct hit. The opponent does take it, so we know that the face down is not anything in particular. They draw for turn, drawing into the Woboku. Go ahead and set the Woboku face down, pass back to us. We draw for turn, going straight to the battle phase, attacking directly for game, and then we're met with the newly drawn Woboku, the top deck king over here. We're going to end phase back to the opponent. They're going to go ahead and draw for turn, drawing into the Lord of D, and now they are going to use Dark Hole to try to clean up the game. The Dark Hole goes ahead and hits the Judgment right here. They will summon the Lord of D, use the Fluted Summoning Dragon, summon out both of the dragons to the field, and then he's going to go to the battle phase to try to clean up the match. Attacking directly first with the Blue Eyes White Dragon, we are just going to go with Woboku here, and we're going to dissipate any damage that we would take for the turn. We're going to draw for turn, drawing into the Battle Ox itself, going straight to the main phase, and then we're going to use the face down Fissure to get rid of the Lord of D. We're going to use the other Fissure in my hand, or the Soul Exchange in my hand, I mean, to get rid of the Blue Eyes White Dragon, and now we're going to summon the Summoned Skull. We knew that this wasn't a Dark Hole, so we knew that this was a very safe play to do. Going into the end phase here, I knew that if they wanted to get rid of my monster, they were going to have to 2-for-1 me, but they top decked the Monster Reborn. I'm like, oh my goodness, alright. Summoning the Blue Eyes White Dragon here, and then you're going to battle phase straight for the Blue Eyes into me for a 500 damage, and then I will also take the 2,000 attack points here, putting me all the way down to 2,100 life points. I draw for turn, drawing into the Maneater Bug, go straight for my main phase, use the Dark Hole to clear up the monsters. I know that the face down is probably another Reinforcements, so I go for the Battle Ox, and I just clean up the game by attacking for 1,700, and then attacking using the Reinforcements to clean up our game. This will bring us right into Game 3. Again, the opponent's going to opt to go first because you can draw going first in this game, or in this format, so we're going to go ahead and allow them to do that. We're going to drawing into the Monster Reborn, going to do a simple summon of the Neo, and then set one Woboku face down. We're going to draw for turn, drawing into a fissure. Going to our main phase 1, we're going to just set the Giant Soldier of Stone face down with a Waboku as a T-set, and then pass to the opponent. The opponent then goes into their turn for a Battle Ox. We go straight to main phase 1, summoning the Battle Ox here, and then battle phasing straight into our Giant Soldier of Stone, making them lose 300 damage. Main phase 2, they go ahead and they set the reinforcements face down, and then turns pass back to us. We draw for turn, drawing into the Neo of the Magical Swordsman, summon the Neo of the Magical Swordsman, go to battle phase, and then we're going to Neo into the Battle Ox. They're going to Waboku here. We Waboku ourselves. It feels real bad to do this here, but it's the best I could do. Go to main phase 2. I'm just going to clean up the field a little bit. Go ahead, fissure. Go ahead, fissure. Nice little 1-for-1s here, I guess. I got the MST and I got to clear both monsters. And then the opponent draws into a trap hole. They're going to go ahead and set that trap hole face down. They're in a weird situation, so they go ahead and they monster reborn back their own 1700 attack point monster, being the Battle Ox. They then tribute off the Battle Ox because they are safe to do so to summon the Curse of Dragon. They're going to attack the Curse of Dragon into my Neo, and I'm going to take a total of 300 life points. The turn gets passed back off to me, and I draw into my own trap hole 1 turn too late. Go ahead and set it face down, and as I am right now, it's probably safer for me not to summon the Summon Skull into a trap hole, which I'm lucky I didn't do because they have one face down. The Blue Eyes White Dragon is drawn for turn. They're just going to pass because they're stuck where they're at. I draw into Monster Reborn, which gives me the ability to actually go for my Summon Skull here. They're going to trap hole it. I'm going to use the Monster Reborn to get back to Summon Skull, and then I'm going to just enter into the battle phase and then hope that the face down is another trap hole and not a reinforcements. They go ahead and they activate their own reinforcements, destroying the monster. I have a trap hole face down, so there's nothing I can really do about that. And I get a nice 2-for-1 there, but at the end of it, I did have to use another card, so it didn't really matter too much. They're up on me, but it doesn't really matter because their hand is bricked at the moment. Drawing for turn, drawing the Lajin. They're going to go ahead and summon it. We're going to contest it with our own trap hole that's face down, and now we are to our Lajin, to their 2 bricks in hand. Drawing for turn, and I draw for it one of the perfect cards in my deck, being the Swords of Revealing Light. This will give me 3 additional turns of no damage, and so I'm safe to summon my Lajin into a clear board. Going to attack directly for 1800 damage to the opponent, and then pass the turn off to the opponent. They're going to draw for turn, drawing into a Change of Heart here, and then passing back to us. This is going to be a first turn of swords. We're going to just go ahead and battle phase the 1800 into the opponent. We're going to go ahead and proceed to main phase 2 and set that Man-Eater Bug face down. Hope that they don't have anything to contest me. They're going to go to main phase 1, set a Man-Eater Bug, and then pass turn off to me. We're going to draw for turn, drawing into our second Lajin. We're going to flip the Man-Eater Bug face up. We're going to destroy the Man-Eater Bug that's face down, summon the Lajin, and then we're going to proceed to battle phase. And this is going to bring them all the way down to 50 life points. Go ahead and pass the turn back off to the opponent here. And we're in a very good situation because I can't attack us this turn. And so they draw into the Lajin, summon the Lajin, pass turn. And at this point, it's just a very easy game of just crash the Lajin and then attack directly for game. So yeah. It was a very fun match. I actually really enjoyed playing this. I can't wait to showcase some more decks from the Yugi-Kaiba format. It's one of my favorite formats because it's like reminds me of my childhood and when I first started Yu-Gi-Oh! Way back in 2002. But if you enjoy this type of content and you want to see more, make sure you leave a like on this video. Make sure you subscribe to see more, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.